Hello guys, welcome back to episode 9. And when we ended episode 8, I had just made a terrifying discovery. Remember, if you've been following my story, I found a hidden drawer in Michael's office, that is my husband's, and inside were passports and photographs and wedding pictures and a notebook containing detailed information about women from different countries. Remember, from somewhere from East Africa, somewhere from southern part of Africa, and one woman from Europe. And this, remember, it was not just one person. There were different women, different passports, different pictures, and detailed information about each woman. And also my passport was missing in the final episode. So these women, Michael appeared to have targeted before me. And worst of all, I found my own name inside that very notebook too. My life, my family, my fears, everything documented. Like I wasn't a person, like I was a project, a target, and then the next morning my passport also disappeared when he discovered that I had gone to his office. My passport disappeared, guys, and at first I tried to stay calm. I told myself there had to be an explanation for all these shenanigans, and maybe I misplaced it. Nilijikonsole hivyo without not wanting to stress myself too much, and maybe Michael moved it for safekeeping because he's my husband. I consoled myself. Maybe I was panicking for no reason, but deep down, guys, I already knew. I searched everywhere, actually. My suitcase, my handbag, even every drawer, every shelf, nothing. The passport was gone. Singepata everywhere, anywhere nilitafuta. And I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor, trying to think, and trying to figure out where I had misplaced it, trying not to panic because the reality was terrifying. I couldn't imagine myself in such a situation. I was in a foreign country. My family was thousands of kilometers away from me, and I had no local friends yet, no support system, and now my only identification document, no passport, it's gone too. That afternoon, I finally asked Michael about it. I tried to sound just casual. Nikamuuliza, umeona passport yangu? Have you seen my passport? And at the moment the words left my mouth, he looked up, not just for a second, but I caught it. That tiny pause, that tiny reaction. Then he smiled. Akasema hapana, no. The answer came too quickly, too smoothly, and then he continued eating his food as though nothing had happened at all. And I didn't push further, guys. Not because I believed him, but because I was afraid. For the first time since meeting my husband, Michael, I was genuinely afraid of him. The next few days became strange, though. Very strange. And the man I thought I knew seemed to disappear completely from my very eyes. The sweet messages stopped. The compliments stopped. The affection stopped. Everything stopped. Instead, Michael became controlling. He wanted to know where I was at all times, who was I was talking to, nilikuwa nafanya nini, what I was doing, even how long I spent on my phone, guys. One evening, aliingia kwa room unexpectedly while I was texting my mother. His expression changed immediately. Akauliza, naongea na nani? Who are you talking to? Nikamwambia, my mom. And he held out his hand. Akamwambia, let me see. Hebu nione. I laughed nervously, thinking he was joking, but he wasn't joking at all. The look on his face told me everything I needed to know. Na polepole nikampea simu because I wanted peace. He scrolled through the conversation, reading every message, every word I sent to my mom. Then akanipea simu yangu back without saying a thing. And that night, usingizi ilipotea yote. I barely slept. And the next morning, I made a decision that nilitaka majibu. I needed answers, the real ones. Because if my husband Michael had targeted other women before me, then somebody out there knew the truth. Somebody. And the challenge was figuring out who. So for several days, I secretly searched for opportunities to access his office again, opportunities to look through the notebook, opportunities to gather information, alafu finally baadaye mwishowe I was lucky. I got lucky, guys. My husband left unexpectedly one afternoon, and the moment his car disappeared down the road, I rushed into the office again, and my heart was pounding so hard I could hear it, and I retrieved the key again penye alificha, nikafungua ile drawer, nikachukua ile notebook, and this time I was looking at my page. Alikuwa ameandika nini? I was looking at my page actually. Nilikuwa naangalia ile page za watu wengine, page after page, country after country, name after name, and then one entry caught my attention. A woman from Uganda, and beside her name was a social media account, and my hand started shaking again because nilikuwa nervous, kind of anxious. This was the first real lead, the first person I might actually be able to contact, and I quickly memorized the details, and nikarudisha everything vile nilipata, and locked the drawer, nikaenda zangu. So that night usingizi ilipotea, I barely slept. Nikaendelea kushangaa. I kept wondering, what if this Ugandan lady knew something? What if she had escaped, maybe? What if she was still trapped? And the next morning I waited until my husband left. Then I created a new social media account, a fake one. I didn't want him finding out I had another pseudo account. Nikatafuta yule mwanamke Muganda, and to my surprise nilimpata immediately. Moyo wangu ukaanza kudunda, started racing really hard, and kwa dakika chache I just started niliangalia tu screen. I stared at the screen kutafuta ile ujasiri, courage to send a message to this lady, and eventually I did a simple message, a one sentence. Nikamuuliza tu, do you know a man named Michael? Alafu nikangoja masaa zikapita, hakuna jibu. Alafu nikaanza kufikiria she would never respond. Then late that evening a notification appeared. My hands were shaking so badly I nearly dropped my phone. Nilipofungua ile message, the reply contained only 3 words. Wewe ni nani? Nikamweleza not everything, just enough. I told her I had recently married Michael. Alafu the moment I sent that message, everything changed. The response came almost immediately. Maneno matatu pia. Get out now. Terrifying 3 words. I felt sick, guys, physically sick. I stared at the screen, unable to breathe. I said, get out now, unable to think. Then another message arrived, and another, and the woman explained that she had also married Michael, my husband, online. Years earlier, and she had traveled and had fallen in love with the same man, and she trusted him just the way I did trusted him, and the similarities were horrifying. Everything, every detail felt familiar. Every gift, the promises, the family introductions, the wedding discussions, everything. Then she told me something that nearly made me drop my phone. She had never actually married him. She escaped days before the wedding because she discovered things she wasn't supposed to discover. The same way I did from that drawer. Mnakumbuka ile drawer mambo nimejionea. And at that moment, one terrifying realization hit me. If she escaped before the wedding and I didn't, then what happened after? Maybe what was Michael planning? What had I walked into? Nikajiuliza tu before I could ask more questions. Another message appeared. Hii message sitawahi sahau. Huyu Mganda aliandika, Grace, you are not the first wife. Nilishtuka. Completely I was froze. My hands were numb. My heart stopped and I read the sentence again and again and again. Not the first wife, not the first wife, not the first wife. Then she sent her photograph. Here, my husband, Michael, standing beside another woman wearing wedding clothes. The date on the picture was less than 2 years old. Less than 2 years, which meant one thing. You can understand here. My husband was already married, maybe multiple times. And I felt like the room was spinning. Everything I thought I knew collapsed because it gave me a totally different picture. Every memory, every promise, every conversation we had, every dream gone. Sorry guys, they were all destroyed. Then the woman sent me one final message. A message that terrified me more than anything else. Aliandika hivi, Grace, if he discovers you have spoken, we have spoken, yani mimi na huyu Mganda, you are in serious danger. So at that exact moment, I had a car pulling into the driveway and my blood totally turned cold. My husband was home earlier than usual, much earlier, and I quickly closed the messages and locked the phone and stood up. Nikajifanya na act normal, trying to breathe normal, not to panic, asione kwamba niko na wasiwasi. Then I heard the front door slam, heavy steps, fast steps, and kama nilikuwa amekasirika, the angry footsteps kind of coming directly toward the room where I was, and before I could move, the bedroom door burst open. Michael stood there, aliangalia. His face had no expression at all, completely expressionless, and then he slowly raised my missing passport. The passport I had been searching for. The passport he claimed not to know anything about. He looked directly into my eyes and asked a question that made my blood to run cold. Aliuliza tu, umekuwa ukiongea na nani? Who have you been talking to? To be continued, guys. I think I'm having some allergic reaction. I need to take my medicine. I'll continue in the next episode 10. Kindly stay tuned. I will expose Michael will expose me. He will realize I've been investigating him, and hapo ndo sasa itanibidi niamue kama nitamconfront ama nikimbie ama ni plan tu secretly niondoke hapo nirudi nyumbani. So that tension will be